Did
Oh, he's
he
gone.
leave? Yeah, I think he left. Yeah. I think he's
What?
still recording.
Yo, Will, are you still on a little bit? Oh yeah.
Okay. He's
Oh,
back.
there he is.
So, all right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dad Strong 253. We are back for another episode. My name is William. We have Tyler. We have Q. We're all here. I know this doesn't end up on the edit, but like it has my name is Dad Strong Pod, and then you got Q over here. Your boy Q. I wish it would actually show up on those things.
No.
It's not. It takes it out automatically.
Right.
So. Because I think Q back in the day, you were saying pop pop or whatever, and I was like,
pop, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Your kids ever call you
son.
something off like different than like dad or daddy or anything like that?
No, my kids ain't at that age yet.
No.
Yeah.
You know,
Mine went
call you
from
pops.
daddy to
Grams.
dad, and that was hard. You know, like it was always like the younger daddy, and then all of a sudden he was like dad. I was like, what the hell?
Like, you make that face, you're like, what?
It changed the tone. So,
but it makes it more special. Like every once in a while, they switch back to daddy. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm still that
I
safe
haven't
space
had
for
that yet, so I still get the dad. So which it's growing on me now, so it's fine. Anyways, yeah, I'm shooting from sunny outside, different location today, so changing up the background, not on purpose, but it is what it is. Today we're going to get into the topic at hand is going to be we've been talking about seasons the last couple weeks today, so we're going to be talking about that, but more of like training yourself to be, what do we call it, like athletically ready. So if your kids are doing sports and you want to be able to coach them on that and be able to do the things that they can do, or so you can teach properly, or even if there are certain things that you like to do that you don't do anymore, how do we train for like more functional side of things like basketball, running, stuff like that. We kind of joked prior to us hitting record that we could all probably go run a 40-yard dash right now, and all three of us might pull a hammy on the way up. So things that we're
gotta train into it a little bit,
Yeah, got to train into it. Can't just go out there.
You go full send. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. What's that video with Kevin Hart where he decided to run a 40, ripped his groin and his hamstring all in one shot?
Oh.
I think he actually said in the video, he's like, I broke my dick.
Tore his gooch right up.
Yeah. But as we do every single week, we get into it. We'll get into that topic here in just a few minutes. But we'll start off with our jokes, and then we'll get into our wins and our fails. But let's start off with some jokes. First, I'm gonna start it off here just because it was sitting on my screen, so I'm just gonna go with it. First of all, cheers to the man who created zero. Thanks for nothing.
I like that you had the mug ready to go for that.
That's why I said I'm ready.
I know we're pulling in props and stuff now. Yeah, me too. I'll reach for mine. I was like, do we go? I thought we
all got one. We could just be like toasting it up.
Thank you for nothing. Right. Like that. Okay, we bring.
If you're ready, go for it.
Remember, we it's been a theme, right? We got to work on the delivery. We just got to keep it going.
True. Man, let's see, man. All right. Why is the graveyard the quietest place to work?
Graveyard, quietest place to work.
Nobody hears you. Ghosted.
Nobody's complaining about the boss. You get it?
Okay. We're in the realm. We're in the realm.
All right. So my neighbor gifted me a little willow tree, hoping one day it would be a pleasant place to sit under, right? So in return, I gifted him a little maple tree, hoping the same for him. It's a good thing to practice exchanging pleasantries.
Okay, you little sad.
It was a slow burn.
Yeah.
I know. I don't have our music board, so it's on the fritz right now. So let's see here. I think I said that one before. I used to play piano by ear, but now I use my hands.
I was gonna say, but now I use my fingers. Yeah.
Right. Well, I got another one. All right, 2 guys got arrested for trying to steal the calendar. They both got 6 months.
Their days were numbered.
Nope, they both got.
Yeah.
I should have waited a little bit. Still working on my delivery.
Sorry, this is off tangent, but it made me think of another one. Like, I'm always worried about the calendar because its days are numbered.
Yeah.
I see that one.
Coming at you.
There's a bonus
I think we might have said this one before, but what kind of exercise do lazy people do?
Lazy people.
It's
The
going to be them
remote curl.
diddly squats.
Diddly squats.
That has not been said. I can confirm. It has not been said.
Yeah. I've heard that.
Yeah. So,
ain't doing diddly squats.
Touche. All right. First round of jokes are in the books. Let's get into our wins and fails this week. You can have one, you can have both, and multiple, whatever you want. So, who wants to kick it off this week?
I'll kick it off. I said, man, I will start my dad win of the week. Man, I had to have that Michael Jordan conversation with my daughter. I'm gonna say last tournament, which kind of rolled into this week, about like playing up to her abilities. Like, hey, you're good. We gotta it's time if we're gonna be the best, say we're the best. It's time to start playing games that way. And kind of trying to have that conversation without saying she's not working hard enough was a tough task to let her know, like, your team depends on you. You're a leader. You're a captain. So in those tough moments, you got to be a captain. So
right
in that conversation that weekend, we had opportunity Sunday for her to show that conversation. So we ended up playing the team. We played the first round of the tournament, smacked them. So now we're playing them again. I was like, let's not get too big headed because now they're ready for you. So the team comes out, scores.
They know.
yeah, they know. You feel me? So they come out, score instantly, like first goal within like the first minute. And if you know soccer, that's kind of like, that's a lot of game left. So
hey, look, yeah, I mean, I went to that World Cup game and it was quick.
Yeah,
so it goes fast.
So we had that conversation. Team's getting off, her team's getting down, and then I just watched her turn it up. Come back from her role. To sum it all up, she ended up with a hat trick. On top of that, we finished 5-1. So she got her team sparked up, was getting people involved, yelling passes, like commanding the ball. Then I was proud. We ended up winning the tournament, first place. She got 3 goals, gave her coach a happy birthday. So, and it was an awesome win on that conversation.
Hell yeah. Yeah. That's badass, man. That's good for sure.
And then my baby dad fail of the week, man. My son he came surprise us for 10 days, had to ship off. And because I forgot what happened that morning. I ain't waking up. You always wake up, and I had a little attitude, had my son miss his flight. I felt bad. So I don't know if he got extra duty off the rip because of me. Son, if you did, I apologize. I ain't talked to him yet. It's like, why I got to
early in the morning? Attitude early in the morning? Never.
At 4 a.m., get up on a Saturday. It's like, man.
Oh. No.
Yeah.
So, Tyler, what about you?
You got to learn. You got to learn to schedule your flights a little better. Then,
that's how I feel.
Not that you need to. I'm just saying, in general.
Yeah.
Those 4 a.m. ones, you got to be committed.
Yeah.
It's usually
you're not the one going
to make it easy to wake up for.
Facts, and I'm not the one flying out, so I'm like, irritated.
Yeah, you better schedule that flight for at least earliest 8 a.m. now. Come on.
Facts. That's reasonable.
Yeah. Especially at least on one hand, you miss the traffic, but God, getting up that early, no thank you. So, no thank you. Tyler, anything from you?
I guess my dad win for the week was my daughter went off to a summer camp where she staying the night there and gone all week, and it was cool having my son around, and I think I wasn't directly involved in this one, but I thought it was really cool that my son wanted to take my wife out for a date. So he's like, I don't want to go out to like a fancy dinner and take you out on a date. So, he's got into a full suit, jacket, tie, all
shit.
that stuff, did
Right.
his hair up and, was doing the whole, holding the doors open thing and, went out. And I thought that was really cool that like he, one loves his mama like that. And two's like, I gotta hope that I'm putting out that bit of an example to want to, show respect and
Yeah, man, it definitely sounds like it.
that he
That's
sees those kind of actions in action to
yeah,
make him want to
Yeah.
emulate that, So
yeah.
that's my
Yeah.
that's gonna be
I'm
my
gonna be the
win for
man to
week.
say it. I'm gonna be the man to say that's beautiful. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Like,
no, that's
I
great,
like
man.
that.
This is like,
Yeah.
yeah, because if you're like, hey, I'm not doing that, then who is?
Yeah.
Right.
Hey,
Continue.
so-
Wait a minute, where did you learn
Hold on.
that
You saw that
from?
hold on,
TV, maybe?
Like, oh, my uncle, your uncle. What's it?
Right. Yeah, we gotta have the family
No,
meeting.
I'm not getting in a full
No.
suit, but we go out on a date. We do like to dress up for each other
There
a
you
little
Well,
go.
bit.
that's what's up, though.
Wear that
That's what's up.
button
Yeah,
up, something.
that's awesome.
But
Yeah, that's awesome.
I thought that
for
was
sure. That's a big win.
pretty sweet.
Yeah,
That gives you like a glimpse of his character, man. That's dope. Like a
Yeah.
glimpse at his future character. I like that.
Yeah,
Tell that young man, you keep it up, brother.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good job, Noble.
Get the
Right.
Man, my win. It's a win and a fail. Not necessarily a fail, just because it's but obviously I'm in a different place right now. We went to buddy's house in Eastern Washington, and so Calvin has taken road trips back in the day when we were like the whole family was together, but this was the first time that it's just been me and him. And normally when I go to do this, it's my fantasy football draft. And normally, anytime I've come out or done this, like he's not with me, or I make plans. And even when I was still married and stuff like that, I've done this. He stayed home, and it was like my guy's trip, so to speak. So this time I brought him, and it was crazy because a lot of my buddies out here, they've never met him. They've only seen pictures online. So it was about almost a 4-hour drive to get out here, and it's like tablet switch. It's like he didn't nobody else to entertain him in the back seat like when he's taking other road trips with other family members. But so he did really well, but the fail was like it could have taken us about 3.5 hours to get here, so it took an extra 30 minutes just because of the we'd leave one place, and then, as soon as I got on the freeway, I gotta pee. Man,
there you go.
I
feel you.
we're not at the stage yet.
Yeah.
We're learning how to like pee in the carton in the car. And so then it was like,
pull off on the side of the road. All right, find a bush,
Right.
buddy.
Yeah, well, we did that a couple times because there were, it's Eastern Washington, so there's parts of the road that there's nothing around, right? So, but I remember the first time we did that, we ended up like getting outside, and it was hot. Like air conditioning was on in the car, but we opened the door, and you're like, holy fuck, it's hot.
Like a wall.
But he normally, so that like the win was that, and the fail was kind of like it took a little bit longer. But the other cool part was that like, I kind of told him that, I've known these guys. We've been doing this draft for almost 20 years. And, so I told him that they're kind of like his uncles, these are all kind of my brothers. And he normally is, like how younger kids are, they're pretty shy and stuff like that. And he came into it though, like opened up, chatted with everybody, was showing everybody, stuff on the tablet. Buddy brought his like teenage daughters too, and so they were hanging out, and everybody was just having a good old time with him, and so it was a lot of fun. It was really cool to see him kind of interact with all these people that he just met, but they all know about him and stuff like that. They've known me for so long. So, and then we spent a bunch of time in the pool. So, which is very much needed. But so that was like the win fail to have the first successful road trip with just me and him. And and the other thing was we bought road snacks, and he goes, hey, we're like 2 hours in, Dad, we haven't had real food And I was like, okay, that's fair. I was like, cool, we'll stop someplace when I see some things. And I was like, well, what do you want to get? He goes, maybe a salad.
That's real food, huh?
I was like, I appreciate that. So we didn't get one because there was not really any places available for that. But hey, I'll take it. So whatever. So cheers to him for picking salad.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So those are our wins and our fails. All right. So we're gonna get into the topic today, which is going to be, like I said, prepping and training yourself for more functionality sports that maybe you want to do or used to do, and or also your kid is doing.
Yeah.
So
Or you need to
I guess let's
participate
start
with
off.
them or help them train.
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah.
be ready for it.
Right. So where would you guys start if, say, let's go scenario wise, kid wants to do a sport, for example, and you used to do it, but you haven't done it in a long time, or they've never done it. So where would you start? I'm trying to get yourself ready. Or the other caveat would be, I want to do this again. And how would you get ready for it?
Let's say
That's
my
good.
usual start is I'll step out on the field and like kick a ball a few times or make a couple of runs, and the next day realize how sore and like your groin hurts or your knees hurt or like your hips are tight. You're like, oh man, I was probably pretty close to popping a hip flexor or something. Better
Right.
better switch things up a little bit.
Nice.
Fact.
Usually starting with recognition of like, ooh,
I shouldn't have done that.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
But not all jokes aside, I mean, like, kind of like back in the day with coaching, all that stuff, like physical conditioning, starting to make sure getting that body prepared for the endurance, the physical activity, things like that. So that could all include, like, working on cardiovascular things, little short sprints, nice little warm ups, doing bounding, things like that for flexibility in the beginning. So like light bounding, light skips, AB, working that in. So things like that. Then body weight strength training, just getting used to that moving, getting lubed up, making sure everything's going, and kind of start progressing from there. Like Tyler said, so that way
Okay.
my body's used to doing them bends and those
yeah,
things. Because if I go one kick and that hip ain't ready, you're trying to push through it and
Right.
you're feeling that pop the whole hour, whatever the training modality or time may be.
Yeah. No,
I think
I would definitely agree.
resisting.
Go.
Oh, go ahead, Will.
I was just gonna say, I think warm up is key. Like regardless of what you're deciding to do, like understanding as we've aged, like you can't do like you used to, and you probably need to spend more time on the warm up than you do the actual work, especially some of that functionality stuff. I mean, Q, you were talking about quick sprints and skips, and I'm over here getting tired already just thinking about that. So I'm just like, I ain't doing any of that stuff until I spend a good like 20 minutes on some flexibility or something like that, or a proper warm up. I'd say that's where it starts, but being targeting specific. So I liked how you said it, Q. Like, oh, hey, you work your way up to those types of things and getting that mobility, functional mobility, let's call it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're building that mobility for the function of the sport you're trying to, assimilate into, right? Like, so if you need to be able to
Right.
do sprints and fast turns and things like that, then yeah, I think designing your warm up to be, a build up to mimic some of the movements that you're about to do, right? So that's where I do think like adding skips into the warm up might not be the very first movement you do, right? Maybe you start out with a little bit of,
Right.
dynamic stretches or something, but adding those skips where you're bouncing on the Achilles, you're doing some C's where you're opening the hips up and getting that body used to bouncing and moving and changing direction and things like that. Doing some lateral shuffles and high knees and all that kind of stuff. Like bringing back the warm ups you used to do, before sports.
Right.
and not, resisting the urge to just like jump in and help, right? My 9-year-old can go out there and just on the field and play. Where I'm like, oh, I better keep up with him. You gotta resist that urge to just jump out there and kick a ball full send.
Do the things you think you can do and you can't.
Out the gate, yeah. You gotta check yourself a little bit, but let's talk kind of modalities, right? Like, all right, so maybe that's when you're actually out there. Saturday rolls around, you can join your kids, or in the evening you can join your kids out on the field a little bit, or your buddies. You want to go and play some pickup basketball or something. But like, let's say Monday, you're not playing any sport. Like, what type of training modalities do you like to incorporate to increase your cardiovascular or your ability, A, for strength, or B, for being able to handle the explosive movement that sports apply to your body, right?
Yeah, quick go-to, man, like for me is like I'm actively trying to do that now. So like I'm introducing plyos to like my functional workout, like body weight, making sure my knees can handle the strain, so just like get my reaction back, things like that. So I might start off like on a 6-inch bop, step down to like a jump, doing that, getting that ready as gearing up before I start adding bands and resistance to those plyos. Like, just want to make sure you can do the same things. Make sure, you ain't feeling no pulls nowhere. So I would say I like to start body. Let's get there. Let's get the fast twitch muscles back activated. Because you're somebody like me, I just been solid strength training. ain't no quick reaction there yet. So you got to establish like that quick reaction first and foremost. So drawing that in.
Yeah.
So it might catch me over there with the box,
doing some broad jumps.
Yeah, some broad jumps again. Yeah, the basics, just getting there, getting gathered. Because I feel like if you start with, especially with sports and those type of movements, if you move too fast, injuries right around the corner. Especially like our age, like you got to start back to the basics, like Tyler said, going back to what you used to do. Like good thing to those warm ups and things, So that'd be my recommendation.
Like
getting the ball.
The Grim Reaper of pulled muscles is looming over you if you don't do it right. It's gonna happen.
Right.
Yeah, man. Man, I feel like if you don't feel prepared for that kind of movement too, I almost feel like you're your own worst enemy too. Like you'll be mid stride doubting whether or not you should be doing that. And if you're in that kind of a mind state too, I feel like your body's going to be quicker to trigger that injury response, or that, I'm going to actually tighten down this muscle. So you stop.
Yeah. No, I mean, I know I went through that with the deadlifts when I kind of hurt my back and wasn't even it was lightweight, not even heavyweight. And it took me a while, like any injury, right? You're like, I'm good, but you second guess a little bit. I think for me, like, biggest thing is my issue is like, a little bit of the flexibility, mobility, sitting too much, but it's like making sure that as we talk about strength training, right, that's kind of linear movements here and there. But like when you're going into for sport wise or functional wise, it's having a flow. So creating kind of a warm up that helps lengthen and strengthen or stretch out the muscles, but it's not like static stretching. So a lot of that ballistic stretching, having that motion with it. So we're going from one movement into another, kind of almost yoga-esque, but not
and
holding
world's
the
greatest
poses for
stretch
very
type
long
movements.
Yeah, kind of like that. But you go from the world's greatest stretch to T-spine rotation into like hamstrings, all that type of stuff. But having it all flow to where you may be a little exhausted and winded just doing the warm up, but you're getting like everything instead of like targeting like I'm gonna roll out my hamstrings or my quads or or it's like going right into broad jumps or box jumps. Well, I ain't doing any of that if I haven't done at least a good 10-15 minutes of some type of flow. At least that's something for me, like especially when like martial arts and even thinking basketball wise, it was like this is a different type of movement. I need to be fluid. And so, it's that if I'm training that way, then I have to have fluidity in the warm up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
I agree with, all of that. And I think some of that can be body dependent and like how you're feeling day to day too. On like, you know, if you go to do something, you're like, man, I can't quite twist right. Then absolutely hitting more, you know, scorpions and, you know, getting some good rotation in. Maybe you're, you know, wide stance, like touching opposite toe, getting your body moving that way. You know, if you're been hitting a lot of heavy weights recently, a lot of squats and deadlifts and stuff, like getting those Achilles and those hammies used to like coming out of those jumps quicker, you know, like Q was saying, starting off with those 6-inch box jumps, right? Maybe doing little pogo hops, you know, some side to sides. I think all of that stuff is, all that stuff is huge for getting used to that explosive movement. But then, you know, maybe ending your training too with some like real, you know, 30-second static holds, like, you know, sitting in those wall sits, getting those, you know, patellar tendons, like, you know, used to, you know, holding and being under strain for a chunk of time, or like those, you know, kind of like 90-90 lunges, you know, staying at a nice low depth while like you're kind of on a uneven surface, right? Get your body used to having to fight while being
or even
unstable.
do those lunges.
Like, you know, you're not walking through your sport doing nice, steady, you know, weighted lunges, right? You need to be able to like spring. So I like
or do those lunges,
you know,
and then
skater,
like ATG split
skater
squat
lunges.
or
Yeah. You know,
skaters.
props to ATG. You know,
for sure. Shout out to them.
Knees over toes guy, because this stuff is awesome.
Random, like you brought up the box jumps and the 6-inch box jumps. Have you guys ever? Everybody's popped in my head just because we were talking about the injuries and stuff like that. But have you ever like either second guessed yourself with doing something that's so minimalistic, you know, so like quote unquote easy and then you're like, I don't know if I can do it, or you start laughing because like something happened? Or have you ever had a client that you're like, yeah, this person's more than capable of doing it, but they get in their own head and they're just like, nope. I mean, you talked about it, Tyler, about like getting in your own head a little bit to make me think about it. As I've done that, like when I talk about deadlifts, but I've also had people that what seems such like an easy task is such almost debilitating in a, not in a actual serious way, but like a almost comedy way. Like, really? You can't do that? Has that ever happened to you guys?
I definitely been there. Like,
man.
Especially being an athlete, like you that's part of like sports rehab. Like I didn't tore a hip, like, and then there's like couldn't even think I could do that movement no more. So like a simple lunge, I remember back in the day, or even now, like because my hip injury, I have to forcefully think about it. I'm like, I can do this movement. I have to do it with no weight first, like a high Q. I told you we can get down there. I told you we can do these things because like if you have like a real sport, I'm gonna say a real sport, but a sports injury kind of comes with like some
real
trauma.
Sport.
You know, it's a traumatic experience, right? So your body doesn't want to do that natural movement in that instance.
Oh,
so
you're like full guard mode.
Yeah,
you know.
Everybody's
like, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
It's like, you sure you want to bend over and pick that up off the ground? You're like, oh, man, come on.
Nope. I'm gonna leave that sock there.
Well, like you were talking about with box jumps, like back in the day, they didn't have the padded boxes, you know, even 10 years ago. So all box jumps were the plywood boxes. So I mean, if you've ever been in a workout or something where you're doing a 20 or 30 minute, or 20 or 30 inch box jump and you're doing it for reps.
Yeah, and tear all the skin off your shin
and grind down the side of that box.
Yes, I tore the skin.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
I got scars.
Or you get up, you land on the box right on the edge, and then it rolls on you. Like,
there are too many fail videos
to get that. Yeah, you got to either just hop right back up and do it in that moment, or the next time you come around, you're like, ooh, little trauma here.
I had somebody that I worked with that
I'm not doing these.
That saw too many fail videos of people doing box jumps on plywood ones that like they refused to do a box jump. And I even made like the 6-inch box. And look, we all have our clients. We pick on our clients. We're here for them, right? We support them. We're trying to encourage them. And, you know, jokes are jokes. We all have fun with it. And I had a client that could not, like the mental gears were spinning. You could see that she was trying to hype herself up to jump on this 6-inch box, and just the 2-foot jump right onto the 6 inches. It was a 20-minute procedure to get her to jump on it. And she's like, "Are you laughing at me?" I go, "Normally I would say no, but I can't," because I was like, I can see the motivational speak from across the gym of you trying to convince yourself to do this, and only because that
do this.
she had saw too many fail videos and was like, "Yeah, I don't jump." And I'm like, every human jumps. Like you can get a little bit off the ground.
I say no to that though, because I've trained quite a few people where like you ask them to jump, they're like, "I don't remember the last time I actually jumped."
Yeah, that
Right,
mechanic is
especially
not
people
okay,
after like 50,
I can go
they're
with
like,
that,
"I haven't."
but
Like
this
they'll
person
do
could.
the, like
Yeah.
the foot like
tap,
trails, you know.
Yeah, tap
Like,
tap.
I'm sorry, but that wasn't a jump. You just kind of did a quick scat ball.
And they give you that face like I went up like it's not technically a jump. It's
Yeah,
like a
but
funny
you
step
leave
up.
off 2 feet like I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's
Yep.
actually a skip, is what we call that. It's not a jump.
Yeah.
Well, did you see that video circling a while back where they're asking older folks or
guys to
people
skip?
our age or older, asking them if they could still skip, and how many people had lost the ability to
Struggled.
even just coordinate a skip, And,
Yeah. You know
like,
what made me laugh about that? Because
these,
I was saying that the same thing. People they couldn't skip, right? They struggled to get the mechanics down. But I saw a video once where they did that. The guys struggled to do the skipping, but then they figured out how to run with the arm and the same leg at the same time. It still looked ridiculous, but they figured that out more than the skipping.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I mean, it makes sense, if you don't do, anything, right? It applies to anything in life. So anything you don't do on a regular basis, you'll lose the mechanics for it. I mean, it goes
eventually that
for,
pathway is
lifting.
not, it's of no use to your brain anymore, right? Like, okay,
Yeah.
why keep
Or
that
even
around
like,
if I'm not
you
going
think
to use
about
it?
it,
Right.
running. We all know, quote unquote, how to run, what that looks like. But there's a lot of mechanics and science behind it. But if you don't do it anymore, you just go, you know what, I'm going to go for a run. It's not going to go well.
Right.
Your body doesn't know how to do it. The same thing with skipping. Anything lifting. I look at it from the martial arts side of things. It's like, I've been in the martial arts for a long time, but even now, like, man, I hit the bag just last week, and there were moments I was like, ooh, that did not feel right. Even though I know how to do it, it was like just a one-off type of thing. I'm like, So, it makes
Well, if
sense.
you don't
Right.
feel
It kinda goes
safe in
back-
that motion, it's dangerous, right?
For sure.
And it kind of goes back to like what Tyler was saying about like you got to mentally train too, man. Like I remember like just like I had some great coaches growing up, so like the philosophy's always stuck with me. Like you want to start with like the minimum of that movement, build up that mental confidence, because like once you get to later on in that training, if you don't have that confidence in a movement and now you're doing more aggressive of those drills, or then you're risking injury as well. So like you got to mentally mimic those things. Like I said, that's why I like agility ladders. Something light, you can get your knees up, get that confidence of moving in that direction. Because then you want to go to full on cut drills and you can't remember how to open the hip, move the knee. Because now you tweak that knee. Ankle gone.
Yeah. Well, especially if you have
feels good.
If you have an injury, right? If like you have the injury and then you haven't tested it fully, you're like rehabbing, and now you feel like, oh, everything's clear, and you're like, oh, I can do it. And you're still like that hesitant until your brain recognizes that you can actually do it. It's like, oh, I'm gonna take it easy.
Like I said, man, I'm training now, like, because now I got my life in order. Like, I want to go play flag football. My homeboy's starting a little softball league. So, like, I was saying, I'm a competitor. So I want to start training. I don't give it is just the older guy softball league. I'm hitting homers. I'm running bases. I'm stealing. I'm going out there like I'm the best. So I've been starting off like doing walkthroughs of the drills, breaking down steps.
Okay.
So like a 5 steps. So drop the hips. Then I'm going to walk 1, 2, 3 heavy steps, do a C stance to open my hip. And then I gradually get into it. So I'm not even like full speed. I'm like spending a week on that. Like, hey, because like I said, it's been minutes since I played sports. So I got to get, like you just said, that pathway back, the breaking down, open up, make sure my feet are firmly planted, things like that. Like if you're going to get back into like sports training, you want to take it back to the basics. Like don't feel humiliated.
Absolutely.
Like you got to remind yourself, like, because me, I went out there. I was just joking with my son the other day. I went out and tried to run a route and forgot to drop my hip, and I just turned. I heard my knee pop. I was like, ooh. Like, do I want to take this next step? Because you know, in sports, you don't feel the injury until that next step. You're like, I did hurt. I'm down. And so, look, I went from participating to standing to the side, like, no, y'all got this. I'm gonna just make sure y'all doing it right. You know what I mean? No more demonstrations. No more.
You went from coach/athlete to coach.
Yep. Where my whistle?
One fell swoop.
Where my belly at?
Let me hold that playbook. Hold on. Let me.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No,
so
makes sense.
So let's say like the field, turf isn't available for you to be training. All you have is access to the gym at the moment, right? Or you're at the gym and you want to start applying some of your time while you're there towards whatever sport you're going towards, right? Like Q, I've seen you doing your training a lot is like Tabata, sequences or EMOMs, like some circuit training. What other types of along you can describe those as well, but like what types of modalities do you like to use to kind of get people ready for more sport style activity? Like, Will, I know you like functional training, things like that, so it might not be like going through a throwing motion, but like I don't know, are we using more cable rigs or medicine balls? Like what's the modalities folks can be using to, get themselves ready? So you're not doing such linear movements, right? Like, how do you get movement in the body and twisting in the hips?
I kind of like, the mix kind of like a little bit of all three of our workout, how we work out. Like I like this. So like I say, I'm gonna do some of the wheel functional, have a push with the sled, probably push up there, and then we're going to break off into like a sprint, like a light wind sprint.
Shout
and
outs
then as
to
we go through
sled
that,
pushing, man.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna have take some of the wheel and blind with Tyler's thing, have them doing like some med ball slams, and then we're gonna get on that balance, that Bosu ball, and we're just gonna do a slow movement. So we're practicing stability, challenging the knee, kind of like a mixture of that. So like it's all about the flow, because athletes, you want to see them work, that must perform, but you want to see it perform under time, because games are hours, 45 minutes. So kind of mixing those type of modalities. All right, we're going to push. We're going to keep that heart rate up because we got to be in condition. But then we're going to do some, whatever that sport specific is, related movements. So like if I have a baseball player, we might do sled pulls, and go straight to a banded motion, getting that overhand throwing motion, working that shoulder, pressing that band, things like that to keep them moving. There's ways I like to incorporate that sports into the workout.
No, I like that. Yeah, I utilize, I think with anything, especially sports specific for the most part, well, just overall, but like the TRX, right? If you know me, I'm a connoisseur of that thing and how it utilizes it properly. But instead of having one static motion or movement, like, oh, we're going to do a press or a squat or whatever, it's like, how can I combine movement that's not just a linear motion, right? Like, going from one movement to the next in things. So not only are we getting the strength, but we're engaging the core. That is a giant fly. Good Lord. Seems to be, they follow you from the apartment. Yeah, they follow me. I'm all the way on the other side of the state and it still comes to get me. But going from one movement to the next on that, like, creating a bit of an AMRAP on the TRX. So, where it's like each movement is probably like 2 or 3 muscle groups, but we're also getting that stretch and that range of motion that maybe the person doesn't have or didn't have as much as they need for what they're going to do. And that goes for myself. It's like, oh, hey, because of my martial arts background, I need to have more shoulder mobility and range of motion for certain things. And, I could sit there or stretch out with the band or whatever. So, but it's not going, so, hey, no, you can say hi, but take that away. Okay. Hey. Yep.
What's up,
Um,
buddy?
he just wants to be on camera. I get it. He's
I like how he phased in. It wasn't like it just jump
Yeah,
in.
With
he
those little
literally,
camcorders that come out
you could
for his
tell.
shoulder.
Yeah, he was just like,
yeah, yeah. Let me phase in.
the hook, like the exit stage right.
Yeah.
But
How many? What is my
having that
face doing
flow,
right now?
right.
having that flow from so many different movements that
Yeah, I feel
most
it's
people
key.
don't realize. I mean, we all know Vern at the gym, and like I introduced him to certain movements for shoulder mobility just in the TRX, and he just doesn't have any. And it's like now he uses it as his like warm up every single day. And he was just like, he almost looks like he's in pain every single time, but he's like, this is amazing, and he's like, oh god, dude. So I think that's my biggest thing is that utilizing that, because you're going to get the stretch, the strength, but you're going to work so many other things and stabilizers that you may not even realize you need to target because they don't get trained. Like even when I tell people to do tib raises, and that little muscle that's from your knee to your ankle does not get trained specifically. So a lot of people that have knee pain and ankle mobility issues, that's something they can do
splints.
from anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so that thing, and it's like I tell everybody to do 3 sets of 25 throughout the day. So 75 reps. Don't do them all at once. Just do them throughout the day, and that like everybody I've had do that, including myself, like your knee health is much better within like 2 weeks.
So I ain't gonna lie, you put me on that, help save my knees. I do thank you, sir. I forgot about that's one of those little muscles you don't think about.
Thanks again for ATG.
Right.
And knees over toes.
No. So that's kind of my like go-to.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I love the some of those movements I've learned on TRX. Sorry, really transfer towards sport, like the T-Rex. Even doing like max, vertical leap while you're holding onto that thing, right? Like charging up and being able to like hit that and like
nice little
practice like getting high up in the air and absorbing the hit, and it helps just keep you a touch more steady, as you're getting used to those motions. Or like doing some like jumping lunges and like jumping lunges with like slight bit of side to side motions, all those types of motions that TRX are huge. And then like Q, like you're saying with the sled, like being able to like push weight, like push through resistance, the amount of like strength and resilience that I think that helps apply to your calves and your Achilles and your whole foot complex, for being able to like press out of that, switching it from heavy sled pushes to like really lightweight, like maybe you're just doing the sled, but like really practicing getting some speed cycling in those feet are both fantastic for getting sports going.
Absolutely.
I've been really enjoying too the stability aspects of like one, the Bosu ball, but two, using some cable rigs to like resist and force and having that ability to resist force and rotation.
The
and then also another shout out to landmine work, man.
Yeah,
learning how to control that landmine while it's flying around, whether you're going heavy for strength or light for speed, like around the worlds for landmines. Like when you're in athletics,
I mean, you can even go heavy for strength and speed.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why I do agree. Core development is key for any sport, man. Like you said, man, around the worlds, I like that. Anti-rotate. Those are all like great things. And I do that a lot of my athletic clients because almost every sport you're using your core. Like I said, you're grabbing, you're here, you're picking. You got to do that cut, that plant. You need that stability, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know it too.
Internal rotation, external rotation.
Right. But you use your core so much more in your daily day to day. You don't even know it. So it's like, until you heard it, you're like, oh fuck. Oh no, I pulled something. I sneezed.
So
I also like with that landmine too. You can do some like fast pops
jerks.
and
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice little cleans. I would say what I want to shoot this one at Tyler because he's big at stability. Like, what other like key things you bring into like that training as far as sports? What some of the things you do?
Yeah, for sports, I like focusing on landing, like your stability in your landing. Both both feet and single foot. So things like loading up with a medicine ball and working on getting like a full powerful leap to the side, but then being able to stick that landing with one foot. Maybe you go like the length of 20 yards on the turf doing that, and go back the other way. But then practicing, okay, I'm gonna leap off of one foot, land on two, or vice versa. I'm gonna jump off of two and land on one forward. So getting used to hitting your legs at those different angles that you're going to encounter in sport.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like holding a medicine ball.
Some weighted
Maybe you do it body
skips.
weight
Yeah.
for one set, but then holding a little bit of weight, whether it's a couple
So like
dumbbells
basically
in your
like
hands.
getting that gather for that charge and like that explosive leap. I like those. What's the name for those?
Or you
I'd
doing
appreciate
like,
I did
okay,
that.
I'm gonna have you do like 3 lateral
He's
steps
taking notes.
and then explode and hit, or
I mean,
or
yeah,
3
kinda.
lateral steps and then explode back in the other direction. So
Yeah. Okay.
I think
That
slowly
that
building
will
up
be
that
on the
ability
agenda
to.
this afternoon. Look,
Sorry,
Yaya's gonna thank you later.
I didn't hear your joke there, Will. So
Oh, I just said he's
Oh,
taking
no.
notes. He was like, "What's that called?" And he like leaned in and he was like, "Hold on,
Yeah.
let me get my pen."
Let me write that down. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So
No, I do.
So I think
do
stuff like
something
that.
similar.
I really do enjoy the Bosu ball too, man. Like
Yeah.
training on an unstable surface, like
It's key.
a lot of sports are on turf these days, so it's a pretty stable situation. But like you get out on a grass field or something where your ankle has to adjust to a little hill here and there.
Yeah.
That patch of weeds that makes that little bump,
Yeah,
or
or a
some
rock.
kid dug a kid dug a little like 3-inch hole somewhere out in the middle of the field, right?
Yeah.
Like
And that is key because I like
practicing
now I think about it. Most of the
heights and
injuries I've
different
seen
steps. Yeah.
been like unstable landings. Now I think about it, as you said,
Mhm.
like there'd be that
Absorbing
unstable
force,
step.
like with the tibs, the tib races, like the huge part of that is it's teaching your foot, or it's building that strength for that top side of your foot,
The
and your
opposite
shin
row.
to absorb that force. So like, if you can work on it's the controlling deceleration is huge.
It's
right?
even
So,
like the
you need to be able to move powerfully, but can you stop quickly and safely as well? So
right. And then like even using the tib raises, but then doing the Polican step, for standing and then doing it from an elevated position is another good one. Just the knees moving in a different direction than normal, than just a regular squat. It reminded me, like, Tyler, you're talking about like doing the stuff I do. Kind of the oh god, what is it called? Not a box jump, but like a reverse. So you, instead of jumping off the box, it's like you have to step off the box and you land with both feet, and then from there you load into a squat, and then you jump laterally. So step off, you almost like actually have to roll the foot. Yeah, and then you like contort your body so your feet are still there. You don't pivot your feet. You just basically all body control at the top and leap one direction or the other.
I'm mad as
really
both of us being trainers, we had to do the movement. We did that.
All 3 of us.
Yeah, we did the movement. Hey, you gotta go back and watch that video. We all hit the side like
You can see all of us like playing it through, going land.
Yeah. Also, my father-in-law hit me with a good cue for getting your body to move in the right order. When he's an old school goalkeeper coach, right? But his cue was like lead with your belly button when you're doing that stuff. Because a lot of people, you start to lead with your shoulder, and it changes that angle of your body. Right. But like if you can lead with that belly button, your ability to move laterally with strength and power changes huge. I always tell people I always told people in the past to lead with your hips. But
that's what I used to use.
Some people like do that and like change, do funky things with your hips. So like lean with that belly button.
Appreciate it.
I like that. So
Step pop.
pop. It's Ito.
Wait, did you say step pop pop?
Yeah, that's what she said. Our
Step-
father, okay, yeah.
I just want to make sure that's what I started laughing about. I was like, oh man, just go that route.
Yeah. So I think,
Mhm.
trying to figure out things while you're in the gym to, like with me most recent years here has been like, oh shit, snowboard season's coming up. What do you do to work on absorbing some of the similar forces you might experience up there, right? So, it's like you're always up on your toes or your heels. So it's a lot of tibs. It's a lot of goblet squats with your heels raised, or, practicing just like dropping down and absorbing my own body weight force,
Mhm.
right? Or
Right.
just kind of thinking through those motions, a lot of twisting and rotation, right? So it is a lot of laying on my back and kicking my leg over and making sure my hips can
Mhm.
go into those ranges of motion. So
Right.
depending on
Well, I think at
what
the end of the
sport
day, it's
you
all about.
or an athlete are training for can be
Mhm.
Yeah, and I mean,
speaking
I
of.
think it just goes down to, at the end of the day, it's movement, right? Like, it's not
Right.
that static one motion, right? Like, you have to move different ways and
Mhm.
things of that nature. It's like, how can I twist? How can I engage the core? How can I engage this? Right? It's like, lifting. I hate to say it, but it's relatively easy. The motion is
Mhm.
whatever the motion is. You figure out the weight as long
Yeah,
as your technique
straightforward.
is good to go, but you're not engaging as much if like, say, doing a lunge with a twist, or,
Yeah.
skater lunges or curtsy lunges, right? Even using the TRX and hopping back and forth. And like Tyler was talking about, having that shock absorption. So at the end of the day, it's like, whether you wanted to do training for a sport, for yourself, for your kids, so you can teach them, it's just all about movement.
Right.
And how can you
Facts.
get the body to move better, not only to help coach them, but even
Mhm.
coach yourself. Like, okay, like we
Right.
talked about before we hit record, right? Like, if I were to go on a basketball court right now, I could probably get away with doing some decent things for about 10 minutes. We better not be running full court, because I'll have a freaking asthma attack, and I don't even have asthma. But like, half court ball, I can get away with to some degree. But if I were to go play a full game right now, I'm done. Just because my body doesn't move that way anymore. So it's,
Right.
if I wanted to go back to playing basketball, what does that look like, and how do I get back to it? So,
Right. And
and
like you
sometimes,
kind of tapped on
honestly,
it.
yeah, sometimes it's, honestly, there is also the other key factor I will say is just genetics. Some people
Yeah.
can just do shit and do it better, even in an older age, and just be like, you know what, I got this. And you're like, screw you,
I'm
man.
one of
Like,
them. I still got somewhat of my athletic ability. I would say
yeah,
mobility
I still
now, but
got
I
it.
can do certain things.
Yeah, I still got it as well. There are certain things that I can get away with, and people are like, wow, you made
Yeah.
that look easy. And I'm over here internally dying, but I did it.
Yeah, like no. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Exactly.
but sometimes
But I feel like
there are certain people that like haven't
that-
done anything in 6 months, and they're like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, I'll just go do a pickup basketball game.
Yeah.
So
I got a
I
friend
think
like
that's the
that.
difference.
Yeah.
You're not training for that moment. You're training for like being able to turn this into a season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think
Right.
any one of us could
Get
hey,
away
all
with
right, guys,
something.
let's see can you jump onto this 40-inch box right now? You bet. All right, maybe you can do it once, but
Yeah.
time 2 or 3, you might get injured for. Like,
Mhm.
when can you develop that skill to be able to hit it with some consistency
Right.
and have your body be okay with it, right? So that's
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
like
Right.
a little bit of conditioning. So yeah, building some strength,
Yeah, that's what I
building
feel.
that explosive power, but like adding those things like, EMOMs where you're working on hitting that motion and doing it through
Yeah.
discomfort, right? Because like every minute on the
Right.
minute, by minute like 10 or
You're
something, you're
pushing
like,
that
oh
threshold.
shit,
Cooked.
right?
Yeah.
So
Cooked.
so working through fatigue, right, and still
Mhm.
being able to have control, in your body, but then like tabata
Yeah.
work too, like you're hitting that.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
You're gonna say hello to your VO2 max real quick, right? Like,
Right. No, that's what I'm saying.
Especially
Like
depending on
me, like when
what movement you do.
if I'm doing like a functional training thing, I
air
like
bike.
to finish like do that. or like a metabolic finisher that's just body weights to have me doing those same movements. I just strength train to produce when it's tired under pressure at the endurance, like you said, because you want that body to be able to react. So like going into reaction, like I like to throw those drills. Those are kind of fun, like to get your body quick to reaction. Like I got my daughter doing, we're just playing with tennis balls, quick reaction drills, getting that mind sharp as the muscles, because the mind's important too, man. You gotta, if you can't react to it, then you can't get your body to react, then it's just dead, all that training. So like, that's a fun way to mix it in, man. Which you being a fighter, those are fun, like lightweight drills to add, tapping, just creating that reaction.
Yeah, what do they call that? The neural drive,
the
right? To have your brain.
The mind tells the body what to do, not the other way around. So
exactly.
As last Christmas, we bought one of those balance boards, that has like the wheel underneath it, and then one of those wands. It's got 3 sides, so it's got like the red, the yellow, and the blue. So it's like, all right, get your kids to balance on one of those, and then toss them that's there. So you're trying to like balance, grab, like being able to see the 3 bars real quick. So like talking about neural driver, that ability to like react quickly and have your brain, firing and processing quickly. That's
right.
I've seen the one for baseball.
I like tennis ball stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah. The one I saw for baseball I was really impressive to see these kids doing it. They would throw, was it 2 or 3 balls, softball, like a underhand toss, and they're all different colors. And the coach would yell out right after he threw them, green. And the kid had to hit that color ball with the bat. And I was like, what? Hold on. I can't. I was like, that's impressive.
Reaction drills are crazy
12,
now.
13, and just, and I'm like, that's one of those sports, like props to people who do it. I can never do it. I can't do it. So baseball is not something
makes you wonder how many of those are actually like good and which ones just look good doing it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like which ones drive results?
How many times did it take you to get that video?
Yeah, what's your?
So it's like like the dude perfect videos, right? Like, crazy trick shot. I remember they did one from the needle in Vegas, and it took them, I think it was like 400 times to get the shot. But there, that stuff like dropping it from the top of the tower, and then you got to, your weather conditions to get that ball to drop just perfectly. But I'm just like, how many times, right? Did you do this drill with your kids where now you happen to get perfect ones, and is it consistent?
But that's with anything with reps, to catch the ball and get your hand in the right position.
Yeah, but you want to make sure, like how you was about to say, like something that could translate to the sport. Because I've seen some people be cold at drills when they would have kind of translated to playing. Like, ooh.
Oh yeah,
like all that for nothing.
Yeah. Well, okay, you got fancy footwork, but when somebody's applying pressure to you, can you still do that footwork?
Right. I mean, I talk about it in martial arts, right? It's like you can drill, you can kill the pads, you can kill that bag, you can get it down, slip, duck, boom, block, yeah. Then you got somebody that actually hit you.
Yeah, what happened? Yeah. What do they say? Best laid
find out real fast
like,
how are you going to act when somebody punches you in the face. Fun. So
so it's like, okay. So then, as training an athlete or training yourself, like I've been wanting to buy some hitting pads for my kids and like pool noodles and things like that, so that when they're going through and doing their drills, like can they dribble up to you and like while you're defending them, because a lot of times you have them dribble up and they dribble around you. Can I pop you in the shoulder real quick?
Yeah.
Can you maintain your feet and maintain your ball control?
Have you,
or when you're going up for that header, can I tag you while you're in the air and you can reposition your body and land? Like,
have you seen that video clip from the Korean team? They were doing, so it's a soccer team, and they have basically individual hitting sleds, but they actually have to push it up, and then they have to come back, and the ball comes to them, and this thing just checks them like a hockey player, and they have to just take it. Yeah. And I'm like,
bounce house.
Oh, okay.
Dude,
that's what we're doing. It's like, and this is why we are so behind in the world of soccer and football. Like football, not some of our players.
That's one of the reasons.
Crushed.
Money. Money's the other reason, man.
That's a whole nother separate topic.
Other countries,
So-
the
Progress.
clubs pay you to play for them, as you're growing up. And ours,
we're
it's the
over here. You
opposite,
gotta
right?
cough up a tiny fortune.
Right.
So I ain't even
Yeah.
reached that yet.
Don't worry, it's
So,
only going to cost you $12,000 for your kid to play this year.
yeah, for 2
Only.
months. What? For 2 months
with the lively voice. I like that's how.
Yeah.
And then we need you to rebuy the same
Oh, and
jersey you
that-
bought last year.
Oh,
You know?
it'd be like,
Yeah,
12
right,
grand, but
yeah.
that doesn't include
Ooh.
travel.
And you got to pay for the patch
Facts.
to add to their sleeve because you guys went to a different league or like,
Right.
Facts.
come on.
Like, what is it?
I'm
Boy
gonna go
Scouts?
through that
So,
down.
but man, good
But like
conversation.
Charlie said, man, like the evolve of that training, you didn't. I would say to finalize that, you just want to simulate the real world experiences. So
Yeah.
that's where like the final goal. I mean, okay, you trained up, you built up for it. Now that's when like light practices come in, light bag work, things like that. All right, because we want it to be translatable. Let's make sure it works here as well as on the field, on the court, or on the turf, man.
Yeah, it's got to all
Yeah,
connect, right?
You know what? Lastly, too, we haven't talked about it all. Recovery, dude. You
Yeah,
can't
I
be
was
going out
thinking
playing
that.
7 days a week
Yeah.
anymore, man. Probably not
Oh,
even
but
we can,
4
nutrition,
days a
though,
week.
we can
too.
talk
but,
about
like,
that.
Because you make sure you
We
got
can
to
talk
have the
about that
right
next
fuel.
week. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk about that next week. How about that? Ooh, that's called transition segue.
There you go. He's learning, guys. He's learning.
all right.
So, only because I
Dad
like
jokes it is then, huh?
is getting to that time, and then I still have a drive to do ahead of me. So, unless you guys want to come pick me up,
Yeah, I'll be right there, bro.
yeah,
Right.
4 hours from now. So,
Says never.
Yeah.
yeah. So,
I'll send an Uber to you.
but no, yeah, we'll talk about the recovery for sure portion of it next week. So we'll just go into that. And also I am working. We still got our guy Brad that we're going to try to get on the podcast. And I found another guy that's going to be joining us too. We're just working out the logistics of when he can come on. But he's you guys may have seen. I've showed you guys some videos, but is the guy that owns his own gym down in California as well, who used to be a strength and conditioning coach and a PT. He makes some funny videos online, so he's agreed to come on the pod. We just, like I said, working out some logistics, so that'll be fun. And he's also a dad as well as I believe his son just turned 1. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, let's get into it. Another round of jokes, and then we'll wrap it up. Oh no, where'd my list go? It's gone.
I'm ready to go.
Somebody else go.
Lead it off here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
Yep.
I've always been a little afraid of gardening. It's kind of a fear of mine, right? But then I decided to grow a pair.
That's solid. On that, how do you get a squirrel to like you?
These nuts.
Yeah, I'm about to say I'm about to go
Close.
sideways.
You act like you're nuts.
I don't know. I like mine a little better.
Yeah, me too. I was like, yep, I'm with
it's pretty close.
Well, me. All right. Why should you worry when the boss says we're family?
Why should you worry when the boss says your family?
Yeah, to the team, we're family.
I don't know.
Because families also expect you to work for free.
Yep.
Why did Mozart kill all of his chickens?
Mozart.
Because
Very close. When he asked them to name the world's best composer, they all said, "Bach, Bach, Bach." Even Calvin approves of that one. He's laughing over here. So
He got it.
uh,
That's how you know it's cool.
what, what do you call a pharmacy that's above the top floor?
Pharmacy.
Drug hating.
It's the drug addict.
Don't.
I can see that. Okay, we got some hitters today. All right. Why does every guy say I got a guy?
I got a guy. I don't
Damn
know.
it. I got nothing.
Because knowing a guy is cheaper than knowing how to do it yourself. Not that one.
Okay. This is my last one. Oh no, where'd it go there? Why did the kangaroo stop drinking coffee?
Made him too bouncy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you got to
I mean,
bounce.
you're right there because it made him too jumpy.
Yeah.
Close. I was
You're no fun,
like, hanging
Tyler.
there.
Screw you and you're almost getting the joke.
I kind of feel like I
I know
got
he
that
been
one.
close.
I'm gonna count that as a chat.
A win. Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
I'm gonna have
It was
to
just the verbiage.
go find deep in the rabbit hole to find some new ones.
Uh-huh.
You got one more, Tyler?
No, I
You
think
good?
that was my two. I'm good.
Yeah, that was my two. That was Will.
That's all I
All right.
researched.
Well, everybody, we appreciate you watching, listening, however you do it. So remember, if you are new here, we want to make sure that you hit the like button. And what else do they need to do, gentlemen?
Subscribe and follow.
Share and subscribe.
Jeez, wow. Do you guys not?
We got to work on
subscribe?
that. I had a week off. I had to get back in the seat.
Do I got to hold up a sign for you? What do? No. Anyways, yeah. You make sure you hit the like button,
Got your
hit the
readers.
subscribe button.
Right.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Or our cue cards.
Speaking of that, you should have seen it at my draft yesterday.
It's
Everybody
a
broke back at the readers.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But go to dadstrong253.com. You can find all of our links there where you can find us, whether you listen to the podcast, whether you watch it, it's all on there. Our coaching services, our merch, it's all on there. So once again, go to dadstrong253.com and you can find all the places to find us. And until next week, which we're going to be talking about recovery. So tune in for that episode. And then, gentlemen, last words before we get out of here.
I always appreciate you guys checking us out.
Yeah. We got, if you're lucky still, you got a week or two left in summer. So get out there and enjoy it, man. Especially if you're in the Northwest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got
advantage.
3 weeks before Calvin goes back to school. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, mine's on the 2nd. So yeah, we got one more week.
I think he goes back on the 7th. Like, oh man. Whew. So 2nd is his like check-in. Like, oh hey, come see your classroom. What? Man.
Yeah.
Always after Labor Day.
Yeah,
So.
it's pretty
Anyways,
important.
everybody, we
Young,
appreciate
get them comfy.
Yeah. We appreciate you everything listening. And like I said, if you are listening to us, whatever platform, make sure you subscribe, but also leave us reviews, helps us grow. And if you see us on Instagram, Facebook, or even TikTok, please, show some love, like, and repost things. We would appreciate that as well. Until next week, we will see you. Hit the wrong button.
Did you actually stop recording?